Hi, I am Mrs. Broberg, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the expectations and rules that I have in my classroom. I have never made a video and sent it home that was about my expectations and basically what I'm going to talk about on the first day of school or the first day of a new semester. This is going into a new semester. And I want to make sure that that all of you parents are clued in to what the expectations are in my classroom. So I actually have done a lot of thinking about what are the things that I really care about and what things are important for the learning environment, also for safety and for feeling respect as a class. I think that probably the biggest source of conflict that we have in our lives is when there wasn't a clear expectation of what somebody wanted, and so somebody gets let down because their expectation isn't met, and either that the people don't have a boundary set in the first place, they don't have a set of expectations at all that they want, and so they don't hold them. They don't hold people to those, and then we all just sit in resentment over that. So this is kind of a new year, and I've thought about what my expectations are for students that come into my classes. So the first one, and I've made a bulletin board, I'll show you a picture of it in a minute, but and I'll go over it in the first day of class, but I wanted the parents to be able to get a chance to see it. So the first one is about cell phones. Cell phones in my class, I don't want them out while school is happening in my class. The only class that might have an exception to is in movie making, if the kid is using their phone to actively film for the class. Otherwise, don't have out your phone. And the school rule is that they're not supposed to be out. And if a teacher sees them, that they take them, they tag it in the school tracker system, and they take it down to the office. And then you have they call the parent on the first offense. And I'm not going to go over those rules, but I'm going to follow those rules in my classroom. So right up front, that's the expectation. If you have your phone out, it's going to get taken away. The next thing is no gum. I get gum on my floor all the time, but the bigger issue is that in theater, whenever you're performing, you don't have gum in your mouth. And it's basically that way in this entire hallway, because we have the drama room and then the choir room and the band room, and all three of those disciplines don't use gum. We just don't have it. And so when you step into my room, that's kind of a reminder. It's a small little sacrifice that you can make, that you're choosing to respect the boundary in my classroom. Those consequences that for not following any of these rules are a loss of participation points for the day. And also, when I see a trend of somebody continually choosing to disrespect a rule, that is a citizenship issue, because when you choose not to be a good citizen, you shouldn't be given a satisfactory or an S citizenship. So that's something I really care about. I don't treat citizenship as just how many tardies you had. It's what kind of citizen you were. What kind of person did you choose to be in the class? Next thing is no food or drinks unless you're there's some sort of medical issue that you as parents are able to let me know about those. You are welcome to have water. We want people to be hydrated. Next thing is respecting other people, and let me spell out exactly what that means to me. We have one person who speaks at a time, or one person who performs at a time. So if I'm teaching in front of the class and you are talking as the student, you're talking over me or you're talking to a friend, that's disrespectful, because you're not paying attention to the teacher. And what it does for me is distract me. I'm paying attention to you and I'm trying to communicate something to you, and I see that you're not listening, and it throws me off. So that, to me, is what respect is. And especially if somebody stands up and they make that very amazing risk to stand up in front of a group of people and perform something. If you lean over to a friend and say, it doesn't even matter if what you're saying is a compliment, it is very distracting to the person who is performing, and they might think that what you're saying is something negative about them. So we don't talk over other people. We all just do it one at a time, and we perform one at a time. The next thing is that when you choose, you have a choice in this class. You get to choose to follow the directions that I give, or you choose not to participate. And that choice of choosing either to follow the directions and participate the way that you're supposed to, or to not, is the choice of your citizenship and your participation points. So I want you to know you have agency in my class, and you get a choice. You can choose to do what you're supposed to, or you can choose to do something else. If you finish an assignment early, here are some great ideas about things that you could do with that time. Do all of the missing work that you have for the class. It may not be the assignment that was assigned today, but catch up on the things that you are missing. You could pull out a book and read. You could journal. I think it's fantastic when kids get out a piece of paper and start journaling, or it could even be in your Chromebook. You could write a screenplay. You could write a play. You could write just your feelings down. But you need to find some way that you are using the time, if you have a couple of extra minutes in class, to be educational. You could memorize your lines. We are always doing performances in here, and you frequently need to have memorized lines. And you could start an original project. Like if it's the movie making class, you could just start to make another movie. You finished before the other kids? Well, great. You can move on and do something else, something new, something original. All right, and the next one is about headphones. So in movie making especially, you're going to be editing footage. You need to use headphones. I don't care if you use the ones that I have provided for the class or your own, but you cannot play your footage out loud for everyone else to hear. It's kind of a trend in society that people sort of think that they get to just play their music and everyone else gets to listen. But that's not actually, it's completely not polite to do that. You should keep what you're listening to just yourself. You choose to listen to it, and that's fantastic, but not everybody does. We don't all choose to listen to whatever it is. So just listen whenever you're listening to something on your Chromebook. You need to make sure that you're using headphones. When you leave my class, I need it to look the same way it did when you came in, or better. So tuck in the chair and put everything back where it goes. I will freely admit that I am a little OCD with organization. The colored pencils go in a place and the crayons go in a place, and they all have containers and it's all labeled. That all needs to get put back where it goes. And just remember, don't steal the things on my desk. That's actually not public property, it's mine, so please don't take it. And remember that this room is not yours, and I make you a solemn promise that I will never go into your room and I will never rearrange your things, ever. I won't even be in your room. And last one is be on time to class. That's part of being a good citizen. And be kind to other people, and be honest. Those are things that are all about being a good citizen. I am so excited for another semester of fantastic classes, and I don't care what the subject is. When you come into my room, I hope that these rules and these expectations will make it so that this is a safe place for you to be able to feel like no one is going to bully you. You can take risks that have to do with acting and imagination, and that you're safe to make real friendships, build your confidence, and feel completely accepted. And that happens when people show respect. So I'm excited for another semester.